I still bully people and I will bully people because that's my nature.
The day that person's a bully might be that one day when they snap.
I mean, if a kid came up to you and asked you, like, is it okay if I bully a bully? What would you tell them?
And I collapsed.
Hmm.
And after that,
Hi, my name is Manuel. I'm 26 years old. I'm an artist. I love studying about physics and I love seeking the truth.
Hi, I'm Elaine. I'm 25 years old. I'm a clinical laboratory scientist and I love singing.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm 27 years old and I'm not used to having a camera pointed at me, so bear with me.
Hi, my name is Azad. I'm 27 years old. I'm an occupational therapy student and I like to have a good time no matter what's going on.
The first question is, have you been bullied?
I think everyone to an extent has been. There's so many different varieties of it that I think whether it's extensive or not, that everyone's faced some form of it or not.
Like, to say that you've never, traditionally been bullied? Probably not, but you have been bullied one way or another, so...
Whether it affected you or not. So.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like, been bullied by your boss, or you've been bullied by, like your neighbor or your friend, doesn't matter. Like, Ozza's bullied me a lot.
I have been bullied many times for many different reasons.
What were some of those reasons if you feel comfortable?
Sure, yeah. At one point in my life, I was twitching. I'm not sure why. And so people make fun of me for that. And I thought that, I do remember why. I played a whole lot of video games and my eyes would become dry. And so I would just be sitting down in class, like twitching. And I remember people just like pointing at me and saying, "Why are you twitching?" And I was like, I don't know why I'm doing it, but it feels like you think I'm doing it intentionally. And I feel like you hate me for that.
I've been bullied in emotional ways and things like that, but I've never taken it personally, really. Like, I got over it. I was just that kind of kid. If somebody was insignificant and they bullied me, it didn't really matter to me later. But if somebody close to me was, kind of emotionally bullying me, I do take it to heart.
Yeah, I've been bullied before. Before I was I was kind of big, so I would take it personally to the point that I tried to not eat. I don't know. I'm just self-diagnosing myself. I thought I was anorexic or something just because I don't really eat, and to the point that one point I took laxatives and I forgot to eat, and I collapsed.
Mm.
And after that, I don't know, my husband actually helped me out with that, with my issues. So right now I don't really care of how I look like, even if I gain a few pounds.
Well, you look wonderful, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Have you bullied anyone?
Absolutely, without a doubt, I have bullied people. I still bully people and I will bully people because that's my nature. But I mean well. I really do mean well. And I don't know, sometimes, you might be bullying somebody and not think you are, but you are. And, I really regret it. And it's not something I want to do, but, you just subconsciously do it sometimes. And it's really bad, but you will do it.
I have definitely bullied extensively when I was younger, and I know why. I definitely know why. And I'll say that it was due to compensation. It was due to self-defense, even though saying that it was caused by self-defense is a form of self-defense in itself. So it's like a juxtaposition.
Well, that is so true. It is a self-defense mechanism now I think about it. Damn, I didn't think about it that way. It's like you're trying to seek something that you're lacking in yourself, and you have to, portray it on other people. Like, yeah. I never thought about it that way.
Has anyone actually come up to you and said that you had a negative impact on them, or was that something make you realize that?
I'll give you an example. A few years ago, my fiance, she had this friend, and she made a statement about, "Oh, you're with him. He used to be really mean." Yeah, and when I heard that, I knew exactly what she's referring to. And I'm thinking, what is her recollection of me? How does she put me together, and what does she remember me as? Does she remember me as a bully? What would she think if she got to know me now?
Back in high school, I did a lot of bullying towards particular people. And it was usually people that, usually didn't stick up for themselves. And I ran into one of them. I think I told you about that story before at a Starbucks. And I didn't recognize him at first, but he used my first name and everything like that. And my name is really hard to remember. And man, when he remembered my name, I felt so bad about myself that day, man. I'm like, why did I do that to that guy, man? I'm such an idiot. Why was I like that to him, And then, well, I actually apologized right away. Like, I'm like, man, he remembered my name. And
It's not my thing to bully, but of course sometimes.
Oh, I know you got bullying you.
You
Definitely got bullied.
No, probably with some of my friends, if they try to bully someone, maybe I'll probably just kind of, agree.
Actually, I was just about to say that reminded me. I do have that. I think I'll go along with that. Yeah, bullying by if you see people getting it up on someone verbally or physically.
No, girls are very emotional, and I think girls, they're very, when it comes to words, if you say that to a guy, they wouldn't even be bothered with what bad words you're gonna tell a guy. But if you tell a girl her insecurities, she's gonna feel bad.
Yeah, but if you told me my insecurities, I'd feel really bad. I always tell myself, if I can go back, what advice would I give myself?
Mm-hmm.
Don't bully people. It's just don't do it. Because one day you're going to need that person, and there's going to be a wall behind that person, and that's going to be a wall that you're going to have to get through. And you're going to have to apologize, or you're going to have to do something that's even harder than bullying at the time.
Are there situations where bullying is acceptable?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was fast.
Absolutely, bullying is acceptable in certain situations.
What are they?
I can't think of them right off the top of my head, but I promise you I will.
The only thing I can think of, I don't know if it justifies bullying, but the biggest thing is if you're accidentally bullying because you're trying to encourage someone to do something for themselves. Some people are a little bit more heavy-handed in their encouragement, and the other person can view that as bullying.
See, I do that a lot. And I gotta stop, but I do that a lot. And people just see it as bullying. They don't see it as encouragement.
And the other thing is if someone's sticking up for themselves, to someone watching on, or just even the original bully, if someone stands up for themselves, they may feel, the person who was originally bullying may end up feeling attacked as well. I wouldn't say it's ever acceptable, but there are some people who feel justified in standing up for themselves, and then other people take that as them bullying the other person. So I guess, that's a roundabout way of answering the question. I don't know if it's acceptable, but that's the only two situations I could think of where it might be on the line there.
Well,
not really on the line.
To kind of bring myself back to the light, if you will. It's not okay to bully per se. You shouldn't go around bullying people, and that's not okay. But I was gonna say, bullying another bully, but then that's not okay either, because then it just makes more bullying. But I don't know. Words are so important, aren't they?
At the end of the day, even that's a difficult situation, like I said, standing up for yourself or bullying a bully, because that bully might be, the day that person's a bully might be that one day when they snapped and they said, I'm not going to take it anymore, and then you bullying them justifies their actions in their head. So, it's a very slippery slope there.
If a kid came up to you and asked you, is it okay if I bully a bully? What would you tell him? What advice would you give that kid?
They shouldn't be coming to me for advice anyway. I would say ask mom or dad. But if I was the one on hand, I would say, if you can, in general, just don't do it. At the end of the day, it's not really going to benefit anyone, you should never let yourself get walked on all over, but you should never be the instigator, because that's not going to make you stronger. It's not going to make you better. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, you're only going to end up either hurting them or them and yourself. So,
Like, I think you just have to stand up for yourself, you know? Like what he said, like, you don't let anyone.
Yeah, I mean, don't bully, but stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with Taylor in terms of if you ever have to encourage someone or do it for the sake of pushing someone for their improvement, it might be something that's necessary. The reason being is because people respond to different types of feedback. When you're parenting your child, you might find that it's easier to get a point across if you say it at a more assertive and dominant way, which might be interpreted as a form of bullying in itself. Because although you might be getting that message across, you might also be using your power relationship to your child to prove a point. Also, it might be something they remember in the future. Like, hey, Dad, remember when you yelled at me?
so does that make it acceptable?
Yes, it does. In my opinion.
Don't go out bullying people that don't deserve to be bullied. And it's not okay to bully now that I think about it. I speak without thinking, don't I?
he was using it. He just had a very specific situation there.
Is bullying getting worse?
Yes and no. Bullying is getting worse because there are more platforms and more availability on those platforms to reach larger number of people. And so one of those is, the whole online gaming, that's kind of blown up, right? So there's not more kids that are talking to other kids and they get angry over killing each other in video games, and then that they can start bullying, or social media as well. But I feel like there's more initiative now, especially this week being, Bully Awareness Week. So people are more aware. They're more cognizant. I was gonna say conscientious, but such a mouthful. Say it. Conscientious. You say it.
Conscientious?
Okay, he's got it. You say it.
Yes!
I don't want to.
Say it.
Conscientious.
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer. Again, you said it, there's a lot more avenues for it, but nowadays there's a lot more awareness as well. And I know at least when in schools, they have a lot more of a less tolerance for it. And that, I guess that depends on where you are. So, I mean, that's a really tough question. I don't know if it's gotten worse. The suicide rate was mentioned as the third the cause of death being suicide being third. Definitely points to something, but you can't say that every suicide is because of bullying. So that is a really tough question to answer. Do you have any thoughts?
I can't speak to say if it's gotten better or worse, but I do know one thing. We live in a very superficial world. And, all these brands and all this stuff. I mean, if I was to take a guess, I would think that bullying gets worse day by day. Really. I don't know. I don't think that there's any other explanation.
Why do you think that?
I think that people become superficial to avoid bullying.
What is your definition of superficial?
Flaunting around brands and driving all these cars and needing to wear a certain brand or a certain watch. I love watches, I really do. But I mean, people seek acceptance by spending more and more money. And you see, this consumerism is what's really driving it, really. For example, I've always worn boots, right?
Right.
My friends are always teasing me about why I don't wear tennis shoes.
Show them your boots right now. You guys are not
Cowboy boots.
No. The entire thing.
What entire thing?
Show the entire boots.
What entire
How
boots?
high does it go?
They come up till here.
Show it.
Don't worry
Come
about
on, Mama, let's just see it, buddy.
Don't worry about it.
Mama, let's just see it.
No, I mean, I'm trying to make a point, man.
Alright, okay, fine.
Yeah, they would bully me just for that, But
Because you're different.
yeah, because you're different. But why is that the case?
Honestly, I don't know if I'm probably grasping at straws here, but if you're saying that people are engaging in that kind of thing to avoid bullying, I wouldn't say that's making the bullying. I mean, I wouldn't say it's making it worse. I'd say people are doing it to avoid bullying. I mean, as I've gotten older, I've gotten less bullying. So, I mean, technically it's a deterrent to bullying, if anything.
Yeah, but that's because you don't buy into it anymore. Would you care if you were in my group of friends and you wore that watch and we're all wearing mechanical watches from Switzerland? Do you care? Yeah, but if you're a 12-year-old kid, you would care.
Yeah, I think so, especially with social media. I don't know, I'm speaking for girl points just because with girls they're more into social media. They're more into social media, and they as you said, like they get more pressured with like buying stuff. And
Yeah.
I think for me, like I see like teenagers like posting what's in, and if they don't have that, they kind of feel like insecure, and some other girls would like kind of bully them.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, hey guys, like, we're guys and we're saying stuff like that. Like, imagine being a girl, like being a girl growing up. Like, imagine how much abuse they get.
Yeah.
Like, it's great that you pointed that out. Got me thinking.
Would you forgive those who have bullied you and or ask for forgiveness for those who you have bullied?
I see no reason to hold on to past grudges. It doesn't benefit anyone, and I can't think of any bullying situation that has scarred me for life, so it doesn't really do me any good or them to hold on to that. And if I have given anyone a negative impression or anything like that, or if anyone actually happens to watch this, my name is Taylor, and I apologize if I ever did anything to offend you. So.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I do forgive everyone for picking on my weaknesses or my insecurities. That's only helped me grow. It's only helped me realize things and helped me work on myself. And I would definitely apologize to people that I bullied or that I've hurt. And I have very specific examples of me befriending those people after I realized that I've hurt them for no reason.
Of course, I would forgive the people I bullied just because. What did I say?
I'll forgive the people I bullied. That's not how that works. Let's not one again.
Wait. I forgive the people I forgive the people that bullied me just because I believe that if you forgive people, it would give you freedom, or it would give you peace of mind.
I'm not apologizing. But I would. If they were here in person, I would.
So like that guy you talked about, right? That at Starbucks?
I did apologize right then and there.
How did you apologize? What did that look like?
I'm like, man, I am so sorry for anything that I did to you when I was a kid. I was such an idiot kid. And I said it right when I realized who he was. I apologized right away. Like, I can't explain it. And then he just started laughing and he's like, it's okay, man. And like, he's like, I'll forgive you. And it just went from there, and we just became friends. Like, every time I saw him, it was amazing. It was great.
What would have happened if you didn't apologize? Would it be like the Adam Sandler movie where the guy was just getting ready?
No, because one day I would have ran into him, and then I would have to apologize. I like living in a world where, you can walk around and people know you as the guy who was the bully, who apologized, who changed, and I think that, you shouldn't live in a world where everybody's a bully.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out the first part of bullying. There's a part 2 coming up. My name is Azad.
My name is Michael. This segment is a part of our initiative, One of Us, which is an effort to create a platform for expressing ideas and experiences through dialogue, movement, and music. We have an infinite amount of media flooding our devices every day, which limits our ability to reflect on our lives. Our hope is to show that you are connected to individuals everywhere and that you are one of us. Stay tuned, guys.